Good evening and welcome to the 7 o'clock talk with Integrated Health of Indiana. And I'm Dr. Trevor Miller, and this is my lovely wife, Nurse Jessica. And we are going to discuss, we're just going to do some quick reviews, and then she's going to talk about her experience with having been doing IVs now for how long?
I think we decided 10 months.
10 months. So, the foundations. Everybody hates hearing about an elimination diet or a diet or something like that. Don't think of nutrition plans as diets or restrictive or something like that. It's amazing how good people's diets are when we start to tweak them just a little bit. And when we can get people to take hi, Kath. When we can get people to take a solid look at their nutrition and to quit going out to fast food, to quit drinking sodas, and to eliminate some of the common allergens, it's amazing what happens. We had just recently, we had a diabetic patient go in 2 weeks from 300s to 100s. Is almost a little too fast for my liking because that tends to their cells aren't ready for that. It's so used to that high sugar environment, they usually start to get a hypoglycemic response. But he was real happy, and his
His
doctor,
MD couldn't believe it. He said it wasn't possible.
and they're not going to adjust his meds until he's done. But the number one thing that you can do, 80% of functional medicine and health is nutrition. If you can eat organic foods and whole foods and real food, your body knows how to deal with it. But if you're eating foods that have a laundry list of ingredients that you don't know or can't say or spell, then you are poisoning yourself. That's number one. Number two, blood sugar issues can be a lot of sin can be forgiven with blood sugar issues if you exercise. And there are basically four types of exercise. You need to do resistance training 2 to 3 times a week, make it kind of heavy, fire the glutes, fire the quads, fire the legs, because they suck up blood sugar,
Just do
basically.
your squats.
Yep. Squats, lunges, stuff like that. Number two is like just walking 30 minutes a day. Just get out and go for a walk for 30 minutes a day. Number two. Number three, flexibility should be done 7 times a week as well, 10 to 15 minutes. And last but not least, for you young pups who are younger than 25 to 30, you don't think much about this, but try to stand on one leg for 10 seconds without grabbing something or holding on to something. And once you get to where you can do that, then close your eyes because you're testing the nervous system at that point in time. And somebody here has been, we have to be careful because we have been slapped with, uh, uh, we've been censored several times for talking about a certain disease, but somebody has had it several times. And she used to be able to stand on one leg, and we would do that every morning. I'm probably going to have to start to get up and do it again. And yesterday, she couldn't. And with that being said, balance work is exercise. Do it. And if you get to where you can stand on one leg and you get tired of doing that, get a wobble board, stand on a wobble board. Challenge yourself because balance is one of the things that can kill you eventually. Um, so that's exercise. Next is oh, I didn't cover sleep. Sleep is very important. Sleep will resensitize your cells to insulin threefold. That's the same as if you were taking metformin, berberine, or whatnot. So, 8 hours of good sleep, meaning you don't have to take a sleep aid, meaning you don't have to knock yourself out. You can go to bed, you sleep, and you wake up rested. That resensitizes your cells to insulin. Am I doing something wrong?
No, I
Oh,
did the glittery in the background.
oh. Um, After sleep, nutrition,
It's like I need
exercise.
sleep.
Yeah. Well, I probably kept you up last night. I was not doing well. Last but not least is for the foundational work is going to be the case for community and stress. Your people that you hang out with should not cause you stress. They should be supportive and they should keep you from being stressed. And those are the foundation. You get those four things knocked out, 80% of your ills will go away, but there's always something that needs help. That's what we're here for. So, Jess has been doing her own journey via the medical route, and we're going to, and yet I want to qualify this. We have been working with Jessica now for how long?
Too long, long, long time.
Yeah, 2 years at least. I mean, 2 years hardcore.
Solid 2 years hardcore.
Yeah. And we just keep peeling back a layer of the onion, peeling back a layer of the onion. The most recent epidemic, once again, not going to say the word, but the most recent epidemic, they now know changes us. It changes the DNA. This just came out. I got a letter from the Institute for Functional Medicine, but it changes us at the DNA level in the mitochondria. So you have to be able to go through autophagy and kill these things off. And it disrupts the Krebs cycle. So your ability to produce energy also is affected. And that's why it's kind of the great revealer of health, because it tells us where you're weakest at. Because if you all of a sudden have an energy crisis in your body, now all of a sudden you have a big crisis because systems are going to go down. So talk about your journey and what you've been dealing with recently, and basically how well your labs have been getting with us without doing any, well, you're not on any medications.
No, I don't take any meds. My labs are great. My function is not.
Yep.
So I decided, listening to our other functional medicine patients and listening to their horror stories, that I'm just going to try this out for myself because I want to know what the journey is, like what these people are going through. So I decided, okay, well, I'll go to my MD, and I was there last year, and then I decided that I wasn't going to get nerve testing done. I was just going to try to fix myself on my own. So I thought, well, here we go. We go back. So it was kind of discouraging and disappointing, but I'm pretty independent and motivated to get my point across. So uh, I didn't have a problem with sharing with her, and she basically didn't know, but she took that as a negative. And because I said I didn't want medicines, she was very put off by it. But I did leave with, I think, 5 referrals total, right?
Yeah.
And so I went and got nerve testing done because I have a numb right leg foot. And it doesn't, I still do everything I want to do, but it's getting frustrating and it's limiting me. So nerve testing, 2.5 hours, 4 extremities, negative. Nothing. So I haven't damaged anything. So the possibility of regaining is great if we can figure it out. So then I went to, what was the other person I went to?
Orthopedic specialist.
Yesterday, I went to an orthopedic specialist that she had asked me to go to because he was supposed to be functional, which I don't think she understands completely what functional medicine is, but that's okay, because my second visit with her, I did a bunch of lab work. I went to the, and I'm getting allergy tested. So she's ordered all these things that I haven't yet completed, but went to the sport medicine guy, orthopedic surgeon who doesn't really do surgery. It's last resort for him, and he doesn't do a lot of meds. So that was kind of neat that he does other things first. And he x-rayed and found that I had basically a raggedy joint
SI
in my
joint.
joint in my
SI
hip.
joint is arthritic, and L4 and L5 are thin.
But he was very thorough and listened, actually just listened. and wasn't put off by the fact that I thought my trigger was the latest virus or whatever you want to call it. But
Well,
I could not.
it wasn't the virus. It was supposed to be the thing that prevented the virus.
Yes. So I could not stand, no matter how hard I tried, on my foot, either one, which actually was pretty alarming to me because I could do those things 6 months ago and a year ago. And he really took notice because he's like, that's not normal. Like, I had one joint that wasn't normal and my hip flexors were so tight. And he's like, this is not normal. And he believed what I was saying, because he's like, this doesn't make any sense because your labs say one thing, but you're saying a totally different thing. So I pursued him, or asked to pursue, like autoimmune disorders, because I have a history of that and it just makes sense.
Familial history too.
So I've been checked for Lyme disease. That particular one was negative. Both doctors will tell you, if I close my eyes and listen to you talk, you have an autoimmune disorder, but your serum levels aren't showing it. So he's delving a little deeper. I'm going to go get allergy tested. But to make a long story short, I have tons of neurological issues, and I kind of push through them, and I gain weight on water, or not even. And so it's beginning to limit. It's limiting my lifestyle. So I feel like I'm suffocating in my own body. Like, I feel like I have to, like, make quick steps, because after I thought about it, I probably do, because I don't have a full stride probably. And so he wants to do a injection in the hip and then do extensive therapy, and I explained to both of them, it's not that I devalue medicine. I'm a nurse. Of course I believe in medicine, because medicine takes care of a lot of people. But for me, my thing is I don't want to medicate symptoms. I want to find the root cause. And this gentleman actually was all about the root cause and wasn't pushing medicines, and was actually really surprised that I didn't take any anti-inflammatories, but I took curcumin and turmeric and things like that.
Which cut your CRP in half.
So he did a repeat CRP.
Hold on one second. CRP is an inflammatory marker. So she is your typical American who has something underlying causing inflammation, and we just keep peeling back the layers. Now, functional medicine has helped her labs get better. It's brought her vitamin D back. It's cut her CRP in half. It's a process.
Yeah, and my labs, typical labs, are actually at an optimal range. So we've done tons of work. But most MDs don't know anything about the biome. They don't know much about hormone, like pellets or like bioidenticals, and they don't know a lot about the lymph system. So, and they just don't know what they don't know. Like, we don't know what we don't know. But I think I was kind of using this as an opportunity to try to teach, as well as get information on myself. And so far I was kind of surprised that by the third appointment, she took those 72 pages of stuff I'd done on myself and actually delve a little deeper, and it piqued her curiosity. But she kind of rolls her eyes at my supplements. But I said, we added one more, and she's like, one more, because I have a swollen joint on my finger as well.
But you can now bend that.
But I can bend it, but it's still not right. And that's actually frustrating her. But I took our CRP from a 5.4 to a 3 point something. And I just added one more supplement, which was a combination of fish oils, a very potent fish oil, which is an anti-inflammatory natural one.
And we've had several people that we started with mystery inflammation on that, and they have done very well. But that kind of follows the medical model of, you've got pain problem, and we're just going to use these two supplements to take care of that. But that gives the person relief while we still dig at the underlying cause. And we're getting ready to start the adrenals with you. She's getting ready to go through the whole reboot.
Yeah, we got a whole new protocol that I'm sure that my MD's just going to love when I go in and I tell her I've added more supplements.
Well, we're going to take a lot of your supplements off.
But I guess we say all this, but I guess I'm walking through the medical journey as well as doing the functional. And I think I'm getting frustrated because we can't specifically find what we want, but we can't really see in the body with the things that we have. So, and I wanted to see what these our patients were experiencing with their journey, because they give us last resort most of the time. They're just tired of it.
Can you imagine where you would be if you hadn't done all the microbiome work, decreased the inflammation, done all the stuff
No.
that you've done?
But I'm actually surprised. I actually surprised myself that I guess if you're loud enough and persistent enough, there are people out there that will listen and are willing to change. But both of these physicians are very young. And I told Trevor, he's like, all right, why do you keep doing that? And I'm like, because I feel like I have something to share. And if I can get them to share with me, we can help each other learn. And then they're young physicians, so they can help others in the future. They won't be put off by somebody that says, no, I don't want your medicine. And it's not a put down. It's not I don't believe in it. It's just, I don't want to do that. I don't want to medicate all these symptoms. I just want to find the root cause and fix the problem, because I want to live healthy into my 90s.
Well, the average American is on 12 medications, and we're not on any. And according to her labs, there's nothing that she should be on.
They all come back unremarkable.
And then, so last but not least, as we're discussing the latest illness that is all the rage, what have you noticed with your IVs with people?
I love my IVs. I actually talked about this multiple times today, because I left the floor because I didn't believe in the medicine anymore. But then I also lost my identity of the caregiver role, I want to help people. And so this has been something for myself that I've grown and I've watched. So we were thinking about how long I've been doing it. So some of the people, 10 months. So we've been doing it for 10 months. And some of those people have been with me since the very beginning. And those people have dropped their blood pressures from the 200s to the 120s with no change. Their skin looks beautiful. They just feel better. They stay healthy. They haven't gotten the latest and greatest viruses.
Well, there's one household that we know of that's had the spouses and children have had multiple rounds,
and they have not. The wife caregiver person has not got
it once in the very beginning, but never since.
But there's one big thing that I have seen in 10 months, and I've asked my mentor if she's had the same issue, but I almost can tell you whether you have or you've had by. I've just ruined our video.
We're probably going to get another slap.
Based on my stick, because I will stick and get in the vein and no blood flow. It will just collapse down. And so I will ask the question, hey, have you had that? And I will usually get, well, yeah, that's why I'm here, or I have. But my theory is, I guess we'll just have to wait for it to play out for a couple of years. But the theory in my head, my experience is, it's a hyper sensitivity to the poke, and the inflammation and the hormones and the enzymes and all the catecholamines and all the good stuff inside of your vessels. You think you're just dying, and so they all shut down.
Well, and that goes along with the ACE2 receptor. The ACE2 receptor is one of the things that attacks, and that deals with blood pressure, and that deals with hypercoagulability and stuff like that. So it is something that is very true, and she has noticed that when she does that, she'll be in the vein, and but all the people that started out that way that have had 2 to 3 IVs.
I would stick them multiple times, like 5, 6, 7 times, and I don't ever stick anybody more than twice, and that's if they're dying. But I stick them one time. They get stuck one time and they flow easily, and I just think that can't say enough about the IVs. We also travel a lot, so we go to seminars, and we went to Orlando, and there was a anesthesiologist and MD that was raving about them, but they don't have the resources or the time, mostly the time, to do them in their practices. But if you get a chance, look in your area and find a nutritional IV. You can look up hydration IVs. Usually they're associated with hydration because of drunkenness, basically bad decisions.
It's your hangover
cure. But we've watched these really change people's lives. People on short-term disability due to a virus go back to work and are thriving again.
Well, we went a little bit over time, but it was worth it. So you all have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week.